Zildjian, the cymbal company, made these headphones. And my first thought was, are these just for drummers? But then I found one feature that made me stop and think, why hasn't anyone done this before? These are the Alchem-E Perfect Tune headphones. They are headphones you can use while listening to music, making music, or even practicing. Yeah, they actually have some surprisingly smart features for musicians. They sound great, but we gotta talk about the interesting features first. The Alchem-E has this thing called Perfect Tune. Perfect Tune walks you through a hearing test in the Zildjian app. The process is pretty straightforward. It plays a series of tones, one ear at a time, and you respond when you hear them. It then builds a custom EQ profile based on your unique hearing and tunes each ear independently. Once that's done, you can toggle the Perfect Tune profile on or off in the app. The app also gives you access to a manual EQ section so you can tweak things further, maybe add a little more bass or brighten up the top end. The custom profile becomes the starting point, and the EQ lets you shape the sound even more. So let's talk Perfect Tune. Now, I'm a bit older, my optimum hearing years are probably behind me, so could this improve my hearing of some frequencies? Now, I can't say for sure whether this thing is doing that. Perfect Tune is subtle, or maybe my hearing isn't as bad as I thought. So I listened to a sine wave while turning the feature on and off, and I could definitely hear the feature making a difference. It adjusts for your hearing in each ear, so if one side is slightly weaker, which is my case, it balances things out. For me, it brought back some subtle shimmer and top-end presence that I didn't realize I was missing. And that could make a difference when you're making music or just trying to hear details in your music. Now, I need to test this more on mixes before I can say that it actually improves mixing. In my experience, you could learn any good set of headphones so you know where to compensate. But honestly, I really like what they're doing here, and I wish more headphones ran these sort of tests. Some of us need this sort of thing. Okay, there's another super unique feature for musicians, but I have to talk about the sound first. The sound of the Alchem-E headphones definitely leans more towards consumer listening. There is a noticeable boost in the low end, not in a boomy or muddy way, but enough that it gives the music a full punchy feel. It's a fun sound, and honestly, I would really enjoy using these for casual listening, especially while traveling. They make music feel energetic and immersive, which is great when you're on the move or just trying to vibe to a track. For studio use, I wouldn't call them flat or neutral out of the box. They're not marketed for mixing, but you could spend some time learning how they translate or adjusting the EQ in the app to make them more balanced. They do work really well for practice sessions, especially with the play along mode, which I'll show you in a second, and they are kind of marketing them that way. Okay, another unique feature is what Zildjian calls play along mode, or half mode. Now, these are noise canceling headphones, and this feature adjusts the amount of noise canceling. Now, I thought this would just be like transparency mode like you get with AirPods or Bose headphones, where external sound is piped in through microphones, but that's not what this is. Not exactly. There are 3 ANC settings: full noise canceling, off, and this middle setting called play along mode, or half as it's labeled here. When I turn off noise canceling completely, the outside world gets quieter. But when I turn on half mode, I notice something interesting. Room sound came back in especially the high frequencies, things like cymbals, vocal brightness, even ambient treble from speakers. So it's not just lowering noise cancellation, it's actually doing something in between full noise cancellation and transparency mode that other headphones do. I think Zildjian is blending a bit of mic pass-through with low frequency dampening. So you still hear you're playing, but without the full acoustic pressure on your ears. And this is really where it clicks. If you're playing drums or an amped guitar or anything where you want to hear yourself in the room, but still need monitoring from your headphones, this may work. By the way, you can change the noise canceling modes on the app or with the button here on the headphones as well. Now, this is not like Apple's transparency mode. I tested these next to the Apple AirPod Max. Apple's version is super open. You hear everything in your environment clearly and loudly. Zildjian's version is more subdued. It's focused. It's tuned for musicians, not for walking on the street. Honestly, I wish more headphones had this kind of musician-focused monitoring mode. It gives you that real-world awareness without losing focus or blasting your ears. This is not something I've seen on Bose or Sony headphones, and it's actually one of the most thoughtful features here. Now, I wish it worked well for tracking vocals. You know, I often remove one side of the headphones so I can hear myself when I record vocals, but this feature didn't really help that situation. Maybe it's something they could try adding in the app later on. Hey, if you're looking for these headphones or any gear for your studio, you can find it on guitarcenter.com or at your local Guitar Center store. Whether you're a bedroom producer or ready for the stage, you can find what you need at great prices. They've got all the stuff you've seen me review, including studio monitors, audio interfaces, mics, software, and of course, instruments. And if you're not sure what you need, their staff can give you some advice as well. Check out the deals they've got today. I always start on their featured deals page. You know we like to save money on Sanjay C. There's even pre-owned gear on their site if you're looking for a super deal. It doesn't matter what your skill level or budget is, you can find what you need on their site. I'll add a link to Guitar Center below the video. And if you want to check out the gear I use in my studio, you'll find my top recommendations below as well. Thanks to Guitar Center for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the Zildjian Alchem-E. Okay, so two cool features, but those features aren't going to matter if the headphones don't sound great to begin with. The Alchem-E headphones have a closed back over-ear design with 40mm dynamic drivers. The frequency response is from 7 Hz to 22 kHz. You can use it with Bluetooth or using a wired connection. There's a USB-C port for charging. You get around 45 hours on a full charge with these. That's a lot of time. Very impressive on paper. These feel pretty comfortable, a bit on the heavy side, but I wore them for a long time and it wasn't tiring or anything. The weight comes from the premium materials. These headphones feel and look amazing in person. Super high end. They have a more consumer headphone look, but that is how they're marketing these. They're definitely not subtle with the branding on the side, so you'll have to be okay with that. It comes in 3 colors: black, this off-white color, and blue. This color looks awesome in my studio, but hey, color is subjective. Oh, on this side, you have a control for volume, play, forward, and stop. There's also a power button here and a button for switching the active noise cancellation mode. In the box, you get a 6-foot audio cable, a 1/4-inch adapter, a 3-foot USB-C charging cable, and this soft silicone case. This case feels so good. These are $400 headphones, but this actually feels like you're getting your money's worth. So, a roundup of some pros and cons. The Perfect Tune feature is genuinely useful. It tailors the sound to your hearing, and that can make a real difference, especially over long sessions or if your hearing has changed over time. The play along mode is another cool feature. It's subtle, but it gives you just enough room to stay connected to your instrument while you're playing. The sound itself is full and fun with an emphasis on the low end that makes these great for travel, casual listening, and even practice. The build quality is so solid, and with the case and the cables and everything, it really feels like you're getting a good value for what you're paying. Now, if you're looking for headphones for critical mixing, these may not give you that unless you spend some time tweaking the EQ a bit in the app, but I don't think that's what these were made for. Still, for what they are, this is a well-built, musician-friendly pair of wireless headphones with some interesting smart features. Zildjian's first attempt at headphones sounds surprisingly great. Thanks for watching, and if you're working on improving your home studio setup, check out my free guide, 20 studio upgrade hacks. I'll leave the link below. Keep making the music you love, and if you're looking for budget headphones, watch my roundup right here. See you soon.